Over the past 5 years, the life sciences industry has engaged in a massive effort to overhaul digital infrastructure, moving critical processes to the cloud. But despite almost every major player purchasing the exact same off-the-shelf software solutions, the operational returns vary wildly from one company to the next. At the top, a select cohort of organizations are seeing massive leaps in submission throughput and real-time agility. Other organizations remain stuck with the same legacy bottlenecks, watching their compliance costs rise despite their new digital investments. We can see the drivers behind this performance gap in the 2025 World-Class Regulatory Information Management Study, which tracked 59 global life sciences organizations. This data reveals a trend that has held steady since 2014. There is zero correlation between achieving world-class performance and the specific software vendor an organization uses. The top 15% of performers are dominating their peers by focusing on foundational layers of the business that exist independently of IT implementation. To understand how they achieve these results, we need to examine the specific statistical differences between the 10 top performers and the 49 companies in the everybody else cohort. To find the actual drivers of this return on investment, we must look past the software and into the structural differences of the organizations themselves. Attaining operational excellence requires building a specific structural architecture before deploying technology. This graphic shows the performance pyramid model, which identifies the 4 distinct organizational layers that generate business value. The top 2 layers represent the deployment of tools and the ultimate realization of benefits. When executive teams attempt to modernize, they often direct their budgets almost entirely toward these top 2 layers. However, those systems depend on the foundational layers beneath them, process maturity, and organizational strategy and culture. The impact of these foundations becomes clear when we compare the top performers against everybody else. This comparison table shows a significant divide in actual business outcomes. For operational throughput, 80% of top performers achieve targets, while the rest sit at 47%. In reducing operating costs, the difference is more pronounced. 90% for top performers versus 39% for the broader cohort. Achieving these specific outcomes in cost and throughput depends on the stability of the bottom 2 tiers of the pyramid. The first major differentiator sits at the 3rd tier of the pyramid, process maturity. Baseline competence occurs at level 3 maturity, where processes are well documented and standard operating procedures make tasks repeatable. The elite threshold lies at level 4 and level 5. At these stages, processes are governed by strict metrics and continuous data-driven improvement. This chart compares the level 4 and 5 process maturity of top performers against the rest of the industry across 9 key regulatory areas. Looking at major marketing submission management, the gap is absolute. 100% of top performers operate at level 4 or 5 for major submissions, compared to 51% of everyone else. We see a similar lead in health authority. Across every tested operational function, top performers maintain a significant lead in measured process control. For organizations without measured processes, there is a lack of internal capacity to absorb workload changes or to scale effectively. Operating at this measured level allows teams to scale their workload and integrate new technologies without the friction that slows less mature organizations. High process maturity leads directly to the next critical factor: the reliability of enterprise data. There is a sharp difference between designating an IT system as an authoritative source and actually having high confidence in the data housed within it. In aggregate data quality confidence, top performers report an 81% high confidence score, while everybody else reaches 43%. This means the broader industry operates with less than a coin flip's chance trusting its own regulatory data. This breakdown affects high-stakes compliance areas like submission document management and health authority commitment tracking. Top performers report 100% data confidence in these critical operations, while average companies hover between 44 and 54%. Low confidence creates a daily operational penalty. Teams must spend hours manually cross-checking and verifying information before they can progress a filing. These inefficiencies directly offset the speed and transparency advantages built into modern cloud infrastructure. These foundational organizational deficits clearly explain the widespread failure of artificial intelligence to immediately solve our regulatory bottlenecks. Nearly half of organizations are currently piloting generative AI or automation tools for authoring and compliance. Despite these efforts, realized business value from AI initiatives remains practically non-existent across the broader industry. Advanced AI and data aggregation platforms multiply an organization's existing process capabilities. If underlying processes are chaotic and the data is untrusted, deploying AI will only serve to automate that chaos at a faster rate. This chart, the 2025 Future Readiness Indicator, evaluates organizational resilience by scoring agility, data governance, process maturity, and digital strategy. 21% of the industry sits in the at-risk zone. Out of 59 participants, only one company qualified as ready and leading. For executive leadership planning their digital and AI transformation strategies, the takeaway is absolute: steady, conclusive. To navigate the shift toward data-oriented regulatory requirements, the path forward is found in the unglamorous work of quantifying processes and enforcing data accountability.